Tuskegee alumni stand together to make a difference in the life of our historic university.
Together we support, we strive, and we give to help our school reach its giving goals, even during a pandemic.
From Long Island to D.C.,
from the East Coast to the West Coast and back again,
Tuskegee alums will do what it takes
to promote and to protect the Tuskegee legacy,
which earned us our top 5 ranking from the U.S. News and World Report.
And we will continue to do it the Tuskegee way.
I mean, ask yourself, where would you be without Tuskegee? Aren't you glad you don't have to guess?
We come from a long line of history making first, and this weekend is no different. So come ball a parlay with us, whether it be outside, at your home, or wherever you feel comfortable.
So welcome home, Golden Tigers, virtual style. Let's show our Tuskegee spirit and join us with giving back to keep Tuskegee on top.
Hey Golden Tigers, have you been enjoying the day so far? You know I have a special place in my heart for HBCUs and the rich history and culture that they give our country. That's why for so many years I've hosted a continuous party with the purpose to raise money for historically black colleges. And I'm still committed to doing that. Super serving our community is what I do. Hearing the stories about the Tuskegee legacies, the student profiles, and the groundbreaking programs makes me want to kind of go back to school. Kind of. But seriously though, I don't know what I'd do without Tuskegee. And I know you feel the same way too. Tonight, we're going to hear from our 8th president, Dr. Lily McNair, about the state of the university. Dr. McNair is doing a phenomenal job at the helm of the university. Since coming to Tuskegee in 2018, she's been focused on excellence in everything. And tonight we'll hear directly from her live about how we're living up to that mantra. Then later tonight, get ready for the all-black party with DJ Kid Capri, and we'll hear from our class agents as they present their class gifts for 2020. But first, the State of the University from Dr. Lily McNair.
Thanks so much, Tom. We don't know what we do without you. We are thrilled to have you as our virtual Grand Marshal for this history-making 2020 homecoming. Alums like you, Tom, are the lifeblood of our university. The commitment and passion that all of our alums have for Tuskegee is immeasurable. And I know our current students look to all of you for guidance, inspiration, and support. That's why tonight, I am honored to report that the state of the university is strong. And Tom, I have to say, we'd be happy to have you come back as one of our students. And we'd give you special treatment though, but don't tell anybody. I'm very happy to say that the state of the university is very strong. As you all know, we have moved up 4 spots from number 8 to number 4 in U.S. News and World Report rankings of all HBCUs. And this is so significant for us. We are in the top 5 now. We are reaching for the stars where we need to be. Now, all of you alums have been watching what we've been doing over the past several years, and you want to see what has been happening at Tuskegee. Well, you see that with regard to retention and graduation rates, we're making a difference. And in fact, retention and graduation rates are a big factor in U.S. News and World rankings. You can see that our retention rates increased over 2% over the last year. And that is very significant and is very much a function of the important work that we're doing with our QEP, the REACH program, the Roadmap to Early Achievement and Career High, where we are really focusing on advising students from the moment they set foot on campus, connecting them to their passion and interest, and connecting them to career opportunities so that they graduate at higher rates. And you can see from the yellow line that the 6-year graduation rate has increased, and that is very, very important. So we really want to build on these academic successes as we move forward. We want to move forward in our rankings, and we want to support all of our students as they fulfill their academic goals and dreams. The next slide shows alumni giving rates, which is so pivotal to the important contributions that all of you alums make to Tuskegee University. We see here that our alumni giving rates have increased immeasurably, and this is quite important. Our alumni giving rates is higher than the national average, 20%, and that is a huge factor. And I want to thank all of you alums who have been giving so generously over the years and really have said that you believe in Tuskegee University. And that kind of commitment and that kind of dedication to Tuskegee, that's evidenced by all of the alums who were in our earlier film, shows that we love Mother Tuskegee. And that is such an important attribute for us to have. So I want to encourage you all to continue to give to Mother Tuskegee. And it looks like you have been doing that. At last count, I've heard that we are close to, if not over, the $100,000 giving amount for alumni for homecoming. And that is remarkable. That says a lot. Here we are having our first virtual homecoming. This is a homecoming weekend when we can drive around the city of Tuskegee and there are no traffic jams because everybody is participating from a computer somewhere across the globe. But that Tuskegee love is still here. So that love for Tuskegee is evidenced in all that you do and all of your generosity. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart and encourage you to keep up the great work because, again, all of this is so pivotal to our moving up in our rankings. The next slide focuses on enrollment. And while we will have a presentation from our VP for Enrollment Management and Student Success, I wanted to give you a little flavor of what's happening with enrollment because it's so critical that we attend to this during the time of COVID-19. You know, COVID-19 has affected everything that we've done. It has affected the number of students who come back to campus. It has affected the types of classes that we're offering. It has affected the kinds of policies and procedures that we have. Everybody who walks around on campus has to have a face covering or facial covering. We have to have physical distancing. There's frequent hand washing and so forth. All that we do to help ourselves stay safe. But in addition to that, we know that all of the traditional predictions that we were able to make about enrollment, the number of students who applied, the number of students we admitted, the number of students we yielded, the number of students who made deposits, and then the number of students who came to campus, all of those traditional predictions don't fly anymore because COVID has disrupted everything. So we are taking on different ways of doing virtual recruiting and admissions and financial aid packaging this coming year to reach out to students virtually. And those of you in alumni groups who are going to be very much involved in doing recruiting will be hearing more about this from our admissions office. But what I want you to see is that overall, we had higher number of students applying for the fall 2020-21 academic year than last year, 2% increase. And we admitted 19% more for the fall 2020 class, but we saw a 16% decrease in the number of students who paid enrollment deposits. Sometimes these students said things like, well, I think I will stay home and take online classes and not come to campus. I'll wait for the COVID situation to settle down. Or others might have said, you know, I can stay home, save money on room and board, and not come back to campus. So we were not able to make those types of predictions, but we did see that we saw a decrease, a 16% decrease in the number of students who paid enrollment deposits. This affected our yield rate. So the yield rate fell to 9% compared to our traditional 11 to 12%. And that is pretty remarkable. So 12% of students who paid their enrollment fee decided during the summer not to come back for the fall semester. So as dismal as these numbers are, we were able to put them in context because compared to the national averages, we are doing better than most. For private nonprofit enrollments, the decline in enrollment was 11.8% over last year, and for Tuskegee, it was 4% less than last year. So we're very grateful that we lost less students than the national average. But I did want to bring that to your attention because it says to us that we're not out of the woods yet. There's much more work that we need to do as a community to reach out to students and not only have them apply to Tuskegee, but make the decision to come to Tuskegee. And again, you'll hear more about enrollment management from our VP for Student Success and Enrollment Management, Joseph Montgomery. So many of you have been asking about our $20 million gift, the largest gift that Tuskegee has ever received. We are very, very fortunate for this generous gift. And I want to share with you some of the guiding principles that helped us as we go about making decisions about where to put these funds. Because the remarks from Mackenzie Scott was, use these funds to advance your mission. Use these funds to advance your mission. It was an unrestricted gift, so we are able to look at our needs, look at what we need, and to make some decisions that can advance us. Now, what's very important is that we make decisions in a way that honors our donors' wishes, and we provide outcomes that will position the university for any future support. That means we don't want to waste this money. We don't want to put it into areas that do not look like they deserve this type of resourcing. So we want to really honor the generosity and the confidence that Mackenzie Scott has put in Tuskegee University. We want to leverage what we have. We want to use these funds to motivate highly gifted donors to give more to the university. And that's critically important. We can bring in more money with the funds from Mackenzie Scott's gift. We want to focus on areas of support that align with our strategic plan, which is being developed now. And we want to focus on a small number of high-value projects or those with immediate need. And in terms of visioning, we want to identify and support programs and initiatives that propel the university to a new level of excellence. So it's all about making Tuskegee University the best that it can be. So these are the 4 areas: increasing student access, as in scholarships, strengthening signature programs, advancing research and innovation, and preserving the university's legacy, both above ground and below ground. I also want to update you quickly on the strategic plan. We have relaunched the strategic planning process here at Tuskegee, and the co-chairs are Dr. Kelly Samuels, who is VP for Institutional Effectiveness Advancement and Institutional Effectiveness Planning and Research, as well as Dr. Clayton Yate, who is Professor of Biology. This process will be inclusive, meaning include all members of the Tuskegee community. It will be visionary. We will be looking toward the future and imagining how we can be the best that we can be. And it will be aspirational. We won't just say, oh, we're never going to get there. We're really going to reach for the top, reach for the stars. There's no reason why we can't be number one. So we want to be aspirational. We've identified several subcommittees just this week, and they are academic excellence, world-class faculty and staff, entrepreneurship, research and innovation, advancement in infrastructure and resources. And infrastructure and resources includes things like IT, technology, facilities, advancement and fundraising. Athletics, the student experience, and community engagement and strategic partnerships. We look to have members of alums on these committees, as well as board members, as well as all members representing faculty, staff, administrators, and community members. So we are very committed to having an inclusive process. We plan to have this plan completed by June, and we will at that time launch it and be able to say, this is where we're going over the next 5 years. So with that, I'm going to close, but I want to thank all members of my cabinet now who will participate in this effort. And I now would like to pass it on to our VP for Student Enrollment and Student Success, Joseph Montgomery.
Thank you, Dr. McNair. Greetings to the alumni, parents, friends, faculty, staff. As you are aware, COVID-19 has disrupted our lives in many ways. The enrollment and recruitment efforts at Tuskegee isn't immune to this disruption. As you are aware, at this time of the year, we would have been actively doing a lot of face-to-face recruitment work. We would have been doing countless campus tours with parents and students. We would have been visiting high schools in the local region and throughout the country. We would have had our fall open house so that we demonstrate and showcase the beauty and the uniqueness of our campus. But because of COVID, we've made some adjustments. And those adjustments include virtual college fairs, providing one-on-one Zoom and meetings with families and students. We continue to work closely with our connections of school counselors on setting up individual meetings with high schools and groups of students to market and sell Tuskegee to students and tell the great story of what we have to offer at the university. We continue to work with partners to begin our process of driving more students to the table by the utilization of technology, advertisement. So you will begin to see an increase of Tuskegee into social media spaces, along with connective television. We will do direct marketing to students that we feel strongly about in terms of opportunities at our university that cross-reference with their interests. We will not do this in just a regional, but we will be looking for students from across the country when we're looking to enroll students at the university. The other thing that most people think about is they think about the freshman students in the freshman class. But we are doing everything that we can to make certain that we are evaluating the enrollment, providing a schedule that will allow students to continue to persist throughout and march towards what we call completion and graduation. So we need to make certain that our schedules are accommodating those students. We are continuing to listen to our students. We continue to administer surveys. Their responses to us are critical as we continue to make changes that will best accommodate their needs while also addressing the needs of the university. So we are currently building out the spring semester to make certain that we are considering, one, the climate in which we're working in, considering COVID, considering the flu season, while adjusting our spring semester to make certain that we can continue to accommodate our students in the ways that they have demonstrated to us. Those ways include the kinds of modalities that we are currently offering. Our students, by and large, want us to continue to offer our classes virtually, face-to-face, and in a hybrid mode. And so those are some things that we're continuing to do. We're continuing to try to build capacity on the campus given the constraints that we have. And we are looking forward to coming out of COVID stronger on the other side of COVID than when we went in. And so that means that it's going to take some careful orchestration between building capacity while thinking about all the things that confine us and all the constricting things that we have. But we're confident that we can do it if we all work together and if we all come together at the same time. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Provost and the Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Carla Bell.
All of my classmates who may be out there with us this afternoon. Welcome, and I would like to talk to you a little bit about what we do and what we have been doing with the Facilities and Construction Division. But first, could you imagine in your wildest dreams that we would be having homecoming without a football game to share our memories or fellowshipping on the avenue as we would do ordinarily? Well, here we are virtually, and we're going to make the best of it as we always do. I lead the hardworking men and women of the Facilities and Construction Division, but before I get started, I would love to give a shout out and a huge thank you to the Adopt a Dorm program. The Adopt a Dorm program has been very helpful to us throughout the summer, throughout the years, and we would really like for each member of Adopt a Dorm to pat themselves on the back because this university really appreciates their efforts, their time, their money, and their passion. Over the summer, they've donated furniture for over 40 units, which really enhanced the summer readiness program. But as we moved forward during the summer and really prior to the summer, COVID, as you might imagine, really took over our minds and became a priority. My area was responsible for the physical environment around here, and in doing so, we had to educate ourselves, educate the staff, and in turn, we relied on the CDC guidelines for our purpose and mission of getting to this point to admit students back to campus. Some of the things that were accomplished during that time, we went into this whole philosophy with the idea of reducing the density on campus. As you might imagine, less people, less chances. We all know what that means now. But that really did affect the residence halls. It affected the classrooms. It affected the dining halls. It affected the activities on campus. However, we still kept the CDC guidelines as the forefront guiding principles for how we would open the campus. What that also meant was we restricted access. That means that only certain gates are open, were open, and are open now. That means that if you come to this campus right now, you would have to have a temperature check. We check your ID, and that goes for everybody, including Madam President. Social distancing, we all know about that, but can you imagine having to orchestrate a scenario where we have to get students, faculty, and staff acclimated to social distancing on a college campus? Well, that came with all of the bells and whistles, signs, other types of directions, including putting out social distancing paraphernalia that everyone could adhere to. But more importantly, we had to go into the classrooms, which reduced the classroom capacity, but we had to. We really had to comply with CDC regulations by making sure the seats were 6 feet apart, not only in the classrooms, but also in the dining halls. Not only in the dining halls, but in the auditorium. So when you look at this whole arrangement, the density that was originally on campus got really reduced, but at the same time, here again, the CDC guidelines were the guiding principles. With that also came a need for what we term as a central supply area. At the physical plant building, that's where we have stored cleaning products for anyone on campus to request. That includes sanitizers, that includes any type of products that's required for you to feel comfortable with having a clean and safe space. We also located hand sanitizing stations across campus in academic buildings, administration buildings, residence halls, dining halls. So throughout the campus, you shouldn't be able to go very far without running into an opportunity to have a hand sanitizing station there. And by the way, they are touchless for obvious reasons. But at the end of the day, we thought it would be necessary to establish what we call a COVID response team. We didn't kid ourselves. We knew that we would have positive cases, but what happens when we do get a positive case? Well, our goal is to, number one, make sure that before anybody goes back into that space, it's clean, it's sanitized, and we have a team that has been trained, a team that has the responsibility to move in quickly to make certain that that space is sanitized before anyone else goes into the space. And there are protocols that we have established. One of the biggest things that I know you all are interested in, and it's the residence halls. The residence halls, yes, we do have challenges. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. I'm here to tell you that we do have challenges, but before we talk about some of the challenges, I want to tell you about some of the things that you may or may not know. We do have some residence halls that are decent, that meet the standard. And not all of the bad news should cover up the good news, for instance, with residence halls like James. James Hall is a very nice residence hall. It has the features that students like. So does Rockefeller, so does Harvey, so does White. So I don't want anyone that's here tonight with us to leave with the impression that every single residence hall on campus is not necessarily up to par. Of course we have problems. Of course we have challenges. but I'm here to tell you that we're consistently moving towards a plan to begin to look at what's best in terms of salvaging the beds that are offline, say in the commons apartments. We want to take a look at those because the commons apartments have the features that students like: private bedrooms, private bathrooms, common spaces, less density. That's all some of the things that we already have in place that we just need to improve upon. Over the summer, we provided spaces for 950 students. Those spaces we feel are decent. Some are better than others in terms of quality, but every space that we provided this summer for students returning in the fall, we feel like they were upgraded from their previous conditions. I also want to talk a little bit about the grounds on campus. The grounds, if you hadn't been to campus lately, we still have pride at our university. We still have pride in terms of when you come onto this campus, we want you to feel good. We want you to feel like you've arrived at a place that has been well cared for. Our grounds, ladies and gentlemen, reflect our desires to have an excellent experience when you come to this campus. We know the way in sometimes is a little rocky, but when you come through those main gates, we want you to feel like you've come to a special place. As an alumni, I know you all know that this is a special place, so we want you to feel like that as you go through our main gates. So special care has been taken to make sure that the grounds remain immaculate. That means that we take care of these grounds daily. There's a lawnmower, weed eater, plants, flowers, something going on where we're touching these grounds every day. So while on one hand we may have struggles and issues, but I do want you to know that does not erase the pride that we have for this university and the things that you desire for us to do to represent you very well. So with that, that ends my brief report, but I do want you to know that we're here and we're working hard every day to improve our conditions, but we're not satisfied, but yet and still we're going to continue to work hard to get there. We want you to be safe. We thank you for taking the time to spend with us this evening. And with that, I'm going to pass the baton to Mr. Philip Howard, our VP for Advancement.
Good evening to you, Nation. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that all of you all are here to join us for our first virtual homecoming. I'd like to say thank you right off the top for your incredible support. Certainly this last fiscal year and a half or so, as Dr. McNair mentioned, your support has helped propel us to the top 5 in the U.S. News and World Report rankings, and we plan to go on further from there. I'd also like to say that fundraising is working very hard, development is working very hard to make the donor experience even more amenable to what you guys and ladies are doing to help the university excel. And so that begins with better stewardship. It certainly begins with having a better notion of what the university wants to do going forward. As Dr. McNair mentioned, the strategic plan will really inform how we parse out what we want to do in the fundraising landscape. That will include some projects that we know of, like the Commons or the Chapel or Armstrong, etc. It also includes other projects that perhaps are a little bit less apparent from your perspective. So that strategic plan will give us a real guiding vision for how we organize ourselves and how you as volunteers can help us to move the university forward. We're also very happy to know that we have started the process of bringing up and enhancing our fundraising platform. You might know it as a 360 alumni. And I want to say happy to all those fraternities, sororities, and groups who've helped us to beta test our online platform. In the last 6 months while we've been testing, we've raised over $500,000 just on that platform alone. And that really gives us a good indication of how we might go forward to make fundraising both easy and fun for you all who are jumping in with us and helping to do the hard work. So thank you again for that. We want to continue to support Tuskegee. I want all of you all to know that we're in the middle of conversations in this Black Lives Matter moment, if you will. We're talking to major donors about how Tuskegee provides solutions to where our country is and what it should be in the future. And so I'm happy to report that we're in ongoing conversation regarding that. Hopefully we'll come out sometime in the spring or so and let you know more about what's going on. You would all know that based on these conversations, I wouldn't be able to say names in this forum, but please know that we are talking to a number of folks who can help this university move to another level of excellence. And that's a very exciting thing from the development standpoint. Many of you make that happen by what you do every day in your jobs. They see Tuskegee graduates out there, they know the quality of this institution, and they begin saying, hey, let's invest in Tuskegee because they can make this country and this world a better place. So thank you for doing that. We have several fundraising projects, as you note, this homecoming weekend that are underway. You'll know that there will be a banner at the end of all of our events, at the bottom of the page of all our events, that will share with you and link you back to giving during this weekend. So please take advantage of that. For those of you who are in reunion, as Dr. McNair said, we're almost at $100,000. We would like to be well above $100,000 as the weekend ends. So please, class reunion folks, you've got time to rally your classmates, call them, text them, have them come to the events, and then give online. It's really quick and it's really easy. So please do that. We'd like to be able to break a record this year in reunion giving, and right now we're moving toward that even as we speak. We certainly like to give a shout out to our staff. That's Kimberly Holland in Alumni Engagement, Ms. Eccles the same, Kawana Magoo and her team, and Mathis Video who's helping tonight, and all the folks around the campus in every particular division, student affairs and alumni relations, et cetera, who've made this weekend happen. Thank you all for being here. You all are making it happen in real time. We're happy to serve in this particular capacity, and we know that this will be a fantastic homecoming for everyone. Again, we've got exciting things going on in development. We look forward to being able to serve you better. And in that same vein, let me just note that for all of you who ordered alumni directories, those directories should be in your mail sometime in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So that deliverable is now sort of out there. We've also, of course, as many of you know, we have soft and hard copies of our giving reports for the last 2 years. And in this fiscal year, we're working on our financial report as well, which should come out sometime in the spring. So we want to be able to give you all the tools, give you the kind of stewardship that gives you the confidence to give not only yourself, but to rally others to give as well. Thank you so much for what you're doing. We're working hard to make the experience better, working hard to make sure that our goals are clear so that you guys and ladies can jump in there with us. Thank you very much for your support. And now I think I will pass it back over to the president, Dr. McNair. All right, I'll pass it over to Kimberly Scott, our Vice President for Student Affairs.
And I just want to make sure that you all can hear me. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining in tonight. My name is Kimberly Scott. I serve as the Vice President for Student Affairs. I have been here since January 3rd, and it has been an honor to serve the students, faculty, staff, alumni, the Board of Trustees, and all those who support Tuskegee University. My specific area of responsibility is focused on promoting a legacy of excellence, service, and innovation through leadership, engagement, and personal development. The operations within the portfolio include the ADA Coordinator, Career Education Center, Counseling Center, and Student Health, Dean of Students, Residence Life and Housing, Student Life and Development, which also includes intramurals, wellness, and recreation. Our areas of focus are around campus environments for learning. I have some great partners in progress, which include facilities and construction, of course, the Adopt-A-Dorm program, and our Chief Information Officer, Enrollment Management, and many others who help to make our residence halls a safe and enjoyable place for our students. We're also focused on safety, wellness, and well-being, career development, leadership development, parent and family engagement. Within the campus environments or the residence halls, we have obviously reduced the density in residence halls and computer labs, classrooms, dining halls, and other spaces, as mentioned by Mr. Tate. We've created a master lease with the connections to expand the student housing options on campus. You will not believe, I think you will believe, obviously, the number of people who continue to request to live on campus. So even as we may have some challenges with our facilities, I think that the experience far outweighs what the challenges might be with regard to residence halls. But I will say that I started in January, and I think I was met with a few concerns, but this year has been relatively nice to engage with our students around obviously some programmatic pieces, which I'll talk about later in the discussion, but wanted to make sure that you knew that our residence halls are going very well in terms of students being able to have their needs met, whether that be through work orders or being able to connect with hall directors or being able to engage with their fellow students in the residence halls in a safe manner. In addition to that, we've created some commuter lounge space on campus, given the fact that we have students who are coming in from the connections as well as other spaces in Tuskegee and Montgomery. As far as our Wellness and Wellbeing and Flourishing initiative, we have merged the Student Health Center and Counseling Center and created a space where we could give more focus to our students' mental health and physical health in concert with our faculty who continue to support our programs and services. We've established a COVID-19 care team to assist with managing health education, our isolation and quarantine spaces, the TU- meal delivery program, the Faculty Cares program, which supports our students in isolation, and a COVID comfort line to again deal with the issue of mental health. Our data in the spring semester from Trellis indicated 85% of our students had some impact with regard to mental health as a result of going online and experiencing COVID-19, and of course, with the impact of racial justice, social equity, and other issues that continue to be at the forefront of our communities. We've also implemented the Blue Cross Blue Shield Health Program. Again, when I arrived, many students expressed a concern about the reach of the health program. Blue Cross Blue Shield gives us a 97% reach in terms of student access to services in the community. So we're very happy that our students are able to, again, take advantage of the student health insurance program that provides a very diverse array of programs. We've expanded our fitness and recreation programs to include reservation and outside activities with our students and our faculty. Developed a 30-minute virtual workout session with American Muscle Fitness, which is led by students. American Muscle Fitness is focused on mental health and wellness. So that is, again, a key part of our wellness and well-being initiatives. And we've developed an esports program, again, all focused on enhancing the student experience as we've had to pivot from what we traditionally offered, which were in-person programs, to offering programs that gave more focus to virtual and in-person programs so that there's a combination of both. Our Career Education Center got off to a good start this year. It currently resides in Student Affairs, but will be shifting to Enrollment Management and Student Success. I want to thank all of our alumni who helped with the pre-career fair workshops in terms of helping our students to prepare resumes, to be prepared for interviews, and offer information sessions on their companies. We had over 78 companies and organizations that participated with 529 student participants, 137 total group sessions, and 421 participants in group sessions. Overall interviews were a total of 1,009. And we are starting to receive those job offers. Internship offers are being reported in the Career Education Center. So we do consider the program to be very much successful. And we're continuing to offer opportunities for employers to interview our students using the platform Handshake. We have also a commitment and capacity to address real world challenges, focused on helping our students to get involved in the elections and helping to address some of those critical issues around social and racial equity. We've offered a variety of programs that included both our students and faculty and offered those to alumni as well, focused on things like No Justice, No Peace, voter registration campaigns, and the Free-ish campaigns focused on advocacy, activism, and social justice, health disparities, and racial equity. Again, our job is to prepare the students to be engaged in the campus community. And last but not least, we have established leadership development opportunities, creating experiences for our first years and sophomores in particular to get engaged in residence hall organizations, especially in the capacity, in the connections where it is a new facility for our students. And obviously it's important for them to be engaged. So we have created that opportunity for them to present programs and to also connect with the administration to enhance their experiences at the connections, in addition to providing leadership and training opportunities for SGA orientation leaders, Royal Court, and our new career ambassadors who also assisted with program developments in the Career Education Center. Our leadership development activities were focused on working in partnership with the administration, faculty, staff, and alumni, diversity and inclusive excellence, and creating allies, being the best leader you can be, and of course, leading critical and difficult conversations and developing virtual and programs and staying safe in a COVID-19 environment. So we have, again, focused on 5 critical areas, and we'll continue to build out that focus as we move forward in the spring semester. I will close out by saying many of you have asked questions, meaning our students and their parents have asked questions about the end of the semester and whether or not they can keep their items in the residence halls. We do plan to allow our students to go home safely and also help them to have their items remain in the residence halls and return safely back to the community in the spring semester on February the 1st. That will require re-entry testing as part of our COVID-19 initiatives. And for our students and families, you'll begin to hear more about that around November the 1st. As always, we do appreciate serving you and serving our students, faculty, and staff, and want to continue to engage positively with our alum. We do hope that you enjoyed coronation on yesterday. We've started to post pictures from the parade today and hope that you'll continue to support our students as they grow and develop as young leaders and advocates for the future. Thank you so much. I will now turn it over to Dr. Carla Bell, who is our provost and vice president for academic affairs.
Dr. McNair, we have 3 questions from the previous TNAA Zoom call for you. The first question is, does Dr. McNair have any working relationships with any members of the Alabama legislature that could benefit the university?
Thank you so much for that question, Kawana. Since I've been here, I've had the pleasure of working with several members of the Alabama legislature. First of all, we have 2 trustees who work for the legislature, and they are Trustee Peblin Warren and Trustee Henry Davis. I also have good working relationships with Nichelle Nix, who works on the cabinet for Governor Kay Ivey, with Terry Sewell, Congresswoman, with Richard Shelby, Senator, and Doug Jones, Senator. So I'm pleased to say that I have been able to develop relationships where I can call on these folks when there are issues that we need to discuss, and they call on me when they want to know more about what's happening at Tuskegee and ways they can support Tuskegee University.
The next question, are there any significant plans to collaborate with Lionel Richie, Tom Joyner, Tyler Perry, and Oprah Winfrey?
Absolutely. We are in the process of developing some great projects. I can't talk about them right now, but you will hear about them soon. But we want you to know, as Philip Howard said in advancement, we are developing great relationships and working on ways in which we can develop projects and initiatives that benefit Tuskegee University. And yes, these are folks who are near and dear to our heart, and we will have some great news to share soon.
The next question, how can alumni help to reduce the food desert in the city of Tuskegee to support students?
That's such an important question. Tuskegee is a food desert, and with that, we know that the important work that our faculty and staff in the College of Agriculture really is important in helping us to address these issues. There is a market that happens weekly where where people can go and make donations. And people can also make donations to the Tiger's Den Pantry here on campus. You can contact VP Kimberly Scott around that. And those types of donations will go directly to our students.
Responses to questions from last month's TNAA Zoom call can be found at www.tuskegee.edu/Q&A. Any unanswered questions may be emailed to president@tuskegee.edu, and responses will be updated on the website at www.tuskegee.edu/Q&A. President McNair, we have one final question from the audience. We've had some members asking about how to join the Adopt a Dorm program.
Gee, I think they need to contact, would it be, excuse me, Kippy?
Ed Grimm would be.
Ed Grimm.
Yes, he's been involved in that program for a long time.
Ed Grimm, one of our alums. He's a wonderful leader with the Adopt a Dorm program, and we would love to have more of you be part of this effort. It truly is a remarkable way in which alumni can really get in there and really fix up their university. Thank you. I want to take a moment to thank the members of my cabinet who've joined us here tonight. And thank you also for joining us for this history-making virtual homecoming and State of the University address. In these times, it's so important that we connect around issues that are so critically important to us. Please continue to enjoy the rest of the weekend, and please stay safe.
I'm Chrissy Freeman, class of 2015. With a career in higher education advancement, I can truly say I've never seen more dedicated alumni than our own. I give back to Tuskegee because we have unique and historic programs that cannot be funded by tuition alone. So please, make a gift to Mother Tuskegee today. Every donation counts. Thank you. And happy homecoming.
Hello, my name is Kiana Allen. I am a 1999 graduate of Tuskegee University. I also serve as the current president of the Atlanta Tuskegee Alumni Club. Two things. One, we are not able to hang out and celebrate during homecoming the way that we're used to, but it's so important that we give. So take a moment, go online, make your donation, tell a friend, ask them to do the same thing. Second thing, if you are not a member of your local alumni club, please go to the Tuskegee National Alumni Association website, find a local club, reach out, and get active. And if there's not a club in your area, the Atlanta Club absolutely welcomes you.
Tuskegee alums and friends, we need all of us to give like we never gave before. Please give a donation to Tuskegee.
Happy Homecoming 2020, virtual style. I know that's wild, ain't it? But Tuskegee, listen, we can't make it down to Tuskegee, so we got to do the next best thing. Let's log on to www.tuskegee.edu and support the university with our gifts. You can support scholarships, you can support the annual fund, you can support capital improvements. Tuskegee's been busy in the last year. We went up the rankings from number 8 to number 4 in the U.S. News and World Report as far as HBCUs are concerned. We now have a partnership with Samford University, their Cumberland Law School. That's going to help us increase our footprint in the state of Alabama and increase the number of Tuskegee alumni who are lawyers. In addition, we got $20 million from Mackenzie Scott, one of the wealthiest people in the world. So Tuskegee is moving in the right direction, but we need you and your support. The time is now. It is an urgent matter. Log on to www.tuskegee.edu and support the university with your gifts. Love you, Tuskegee, and happy homecoming.
As a sales and marketing major, I chose my major and Tuskegee because of the family aspect and because I'm a people person. We truly wanted to see each other succeed, and I knew I was going to get an amazing education.
When I came to Tuskegee, I learned about the communications program, and I really just wanted to be a part of it. And as a transfer student, the tutoring in Kinney Hall
really gave me the boost that I needed in transitioning from a junior college to a four-year college. I had an internship in Birmingham, Alabama. I learned a lot of skills here that allowed me to really stick out when I was there. By combining my skills that I'm learning from my communications classes and my time management skills that I've learned here as well, it's really gonna benefit me in my profession after I leave here.
As a business student, one thing that I pride myself in and that the university prides itself in is that we have a lot of corporate partnerships. So within the business school, we are partnered with P&G, 3M, Hormel, and a ton of other corporate entities. This past summer, I was lucky enough to be able to intern with the 3M company within their sales program, and I believe that because of my education that I got at Tuskegee and the partnerships that I've created through the career fair and just the family aspect, I was able to get that role as well as exceed in that role.
Hi, my name is Dr. Douglas Hardy. I am a 1992 graduate from the Tuskegee School of Veterinary Medicine. My father was also a 1963 graduate from the School of Veterinary Medicine, and I have two brothers who are also graduates from the School of Veterinary Medicine. And Tuskegee has been a part of my life since before I enrolled there, and it still continues to be a part of my life. I'm very thankful for all that she's given me, an opportunity to actually be a veterinarian, and I have my own practice now. And for a little while, I flew for an airline. All things I learned at Tuskegee. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to earn my way into the family, and I will continue to represent you to the best of my ability. Happy homecoming.
Life is more than a journey. It is more than a destination.
Dr. Ruby Perry knows of what she speaks. As the first female dean of the College of Veterinary Medicine at Tuskegee University, this two-time Tuskegee grad is the 7th dean and first African-American woman to lead the college. She is also the first black female board-certified veterinary radiologist in the American College of Veterinary Radiology. And while the trailblazing first are important, Dr. Perry is focused clearly on her impact today in teaching aspiring students to love her life's profession.
What a loved profession it is. Our legacy and mission are to get the students who are interested in veterinary medicine prepared to be career-ready veterinarians.
And boy, has Tuskegee done that. The university has the distinction of being the only HBCU with a veterinary medicine program that offers the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree, and it's been doing it since 1945.
And I have to do kudos for Tuskegee University, College of Veterinary Medicine, is because we're #1 as the most diverse school and college of veterinary medicine of the 32 schools and colleges of veterinary medicine in the United States.
Dr. Perry says that for students who have a desire to achieve, her program will get them ready to be leaders in the profession. And they have the wraparound services and compassion to make sure they're successful. It's just the Tuskegee way.
And because we're small, we know students by name. So we can actually go to the students, call them by name and say, you're not your best today. So what's wrong?
Being a veterinarian is a nuanced profession. It's not just about diagnosing and treating household pets. Just like human medicine, it's an industry made up of many areas of expertise.
Animals don't say to you what they're feeling. And it's a science of discovery. So when you go to the doctor and you go to these specialists, it's the same type of specialist in veterinary medicine as well.
There are veterinary researchers, vets in the military, lab animal medicine, and the United States Department of Agriculture, which is the largest employer of vets nationwide.
So that food that you eat, the meat that you go to the store and look at, a veterinarian has inspected that to make sure that it is safe for consumption.
It is an industry that touches many parts of life that we may take for granted. And it's an industry, like many others, that is changing with time and technology.
Telehealth, again, following that same path as with human medicine, is telehealth. So that piece has definitely changed.
But for Dean Perry, who is now in her third tour for Tuskegee University, there are some things that should always stay the same.
The relationships that we build along the way, the mentorship, that remains the same, which is a critical piece of your journey in achieving your career goal or just what you want to do in life. So that remains the same, and for an HBCU, I hope that never changes.
The cost of prescription drugs for debilitating disease can be costly, so much so that sometimes people are forced to choose between regular life expenses or their life-saving medications. Now, thanks to a new program called Remedy Chain with assistance from Tuskegee University, help for patients in need of costly cancer medications may be on the way.
Our role in Remedy Chain is to give them access to diverse populations, number one, give them access particularly to the African population, number two, and then how can we improve Remedy Chain's processes?
Remedy Chain is the brainchild of pharmacist Phil Baker in Memphis, Tennessee. In 2015, he started a pharmacy program unlike any in the country, and its objective is to pair unused medications with people who need them for a fraction of the retail costs.
We have recycled or reclaimed and redispensed over $12 million worth of those meds, that would have otherwise ended up in the landfill.
Now Baker is teamed up with faculty at Tuskegee University to implement blockchain technology to increase the number of people the program is able to help.
We're just making what they do easier, faster, and more efficient. And right now we're using augmented reality and machine learning to do that.
It's a decentralized ledger, and this ledger allows you to share transactions, share money, share lots of things with one another.
Ultimately, the objective is to get cancer medications to those who need it safely, reliably, and at low or no cost.
Us being able to recycle these goods and be able to distribute to those who can use them is everything.
And so if we could figure out a way to use those, maintain ethical standards, and then get them to people who can't afford it, we can save lives.
Some of the standout programs at Tuskegee would include the nursing program, which is the oldest baccalaureate nursing program in the state of Alabama. We offer a lot of entities of engineering, and we also have an amazing veterinary medicine program.
Students at Tuskegee are being prepared to be leaders every day. This is especially true for me, being an ROTC cadet. We learn things about being a good leader, such as decision making, how to motivate others, leading by example.
I think having small class sizes benefits the student and the instructor, because the instructor is able to meet the need of the student, but the student is also able to bridge and learn off of that. The faculty at my institution are exemplary instructors and people.
They are all very passionate, very driven people. They're always there if you need help. I've been able to use them as references for internships, for jobs. Having a degree from here, you're able to network with all the alumni. I personally have been able to talk to other veterinarians that have graduated from here who are interested in offering me an internship just because I go here.
Because of the many corporations that Tuskegee University partners with, I was able to secure my first internship as a freshman. From tutoring to counseling services, whatever the student need is, Tuskegee University provides it.
This is the hardest working man for historically black colleges and universities, Tom Joyner. Tuskegee has done everything for me. If not for Tuskegee, I wouldn't be here. Looking back, I understand that when you're nurtured in an atmosphere Were you expected to succeed? You probably will, and I bear witness to that.
You let Tuskegee shine through you. It's not me putting my mark on Tuskegee, it's Tuskegee putting its mark on me.
An incredible and a special place, and I think that anyone who comes here feels that almost immediately.
And I have to do kudos for Tuskegee University, College of Veterinary Medicine, is because we're #1 as the most diverse school and college of veterinary medicine of the 32 schools and colleges of veterinary medicine in the United States.
And my first visit is when I applied, registered, and dropped my deposit to attend. So it just felt like I was supposed to be here.
Just our motto here at Tuskegee, do what we can, you know, life comes, you make changes, you adapt, but we try to meet the needs of our community and then inspire our students through that process that they can come and hopefully replace me one day.
So I believe that Tuskegee is helping prepare me to be able to go out and do great works within preserving my community.
I'll challenge every single HBCU out here in the country and every other predominantly white institution in the country to show me how you have impacted the black community like Tuskegee has. And I promise you, you can't meet me.